So, most of us know pretty much the most grounded understanding of why we're here is to experience. But it's a little bit deeper than that. What we're here to experience is emotions. Emotions, unlike memories, where if you OD on drugs or something, you technically killed yourself. Maybe you didn't mean to, so you're reborn into a spider or a bird or a parrot or a possum or a dog, and then eventually a human again. Our soul's energy hangs on to emotional energy, and the emotions that we carry are the things that shape who we are, based on the experiences that we have and the decisions that we've made. We gain emotional content, and that's what shapes us. And when we return to where we came before we were sent down here, is where God resides. And as God is where He is, he basically has us experience emotions for Him. So through us, He can experience emotions. And ultimately, I believe the end goal is to become immortals, to become gods, or therein of His workforce, similar to Him, but not Him, just something more than we are now. But first, we have to fulfill ourselves with experiences and emotions so we have complete understanding of life. And then we graduate and move on to the next thing, which I'm pretty sure it's some form of immortality. Our soul's already immortal, unless you die the second death. But aside from that, being that is even our own choice, is immortality in another form, where we don't reset and we're not born again into another body. I believe we will retain the same vessel. Maybe it's like our soul takes shape to a form once we're complete, and then we live in the true universe. That's the one outside our universe, and then the one outside of that place, which I call the above and the below. So outside the above and below is the true universe. And where we are, we're in a universe that resides inside the above and below. It rotates around the two fields. It rotates around, in, up and down and around, through the above and through the below. Inside that bubble, there's a universe and there's galaxies, and we're one of the galaxies open up, and then we're in there. So that's what everything looks like in a nutshell. And actually, outside of this universe, in the above, is where you wait at the base of the tree of life, and you're birthed up into heaven like a flower blooming, and come out from that, and you're in heaven, which is the true universe, the beginning. There could be more, but that is the only domains that I'm aware of, other than, the multiple universes that spin in a circle like a clock. And apparently there's been many of them collapsed. And why we remember things differently, because some of us, our souls transferred over into a version of ourselves living in a dimension that hasn't been collapsed. Kind of like the Christian story about being taken out, people just disappear. Well, that happened, and some of us disappeared and overtook the portion of our soul and combined it with ourselves and claimed the body. Like in my case, I was from Mother Earth, we called it, and the last thing I knew about this place that I was on was called Terra Cristo. I don't know if it's called that still, or if I'm in another dimension, because I don't know how many collapses have happened, and all I know is I just keep moving forward and collecting the different parts of myself, as we all are, even if we're unaware of it. It is happening. Like the 2012 Mayan calendar, the world as we know it will change, and that's how it's changing. You heard it here first. So, let's get back to this video about DMT and matters of which I was speaking.
Where we're hallucinating distance. We're hallucinating, and I think that whatever the case is, I have no idea. I have no theories about it myself. But whatever the case is, I do think that separation is the greatest lie ever told to the entire world. Of like you are separate from that person, like this, you are separate from this. And how people say, I need to go spend time in nature. Like, you are nature. Like, that's part of who you are. You're made out of that stuff. You're made out of that dirt. So I think the illusion of separation is the one thing that I think will help a lot of people. And that's why psychedelics can really just rewire somebody's brain so fast. It just deletes that separation.
I feel like I just had some DMT. Because you said, level 1 is dreams, level 2 is maybe this reality. So the question in my mind was, what's level 3?
Yeah, then that would maybe be what you see on DMT.
You said that world was more real than this one.
Oh yeah, exponentially, immeasurably.
Why? How do you quantify realness? Like, what's the measuring stick there?
There are no words for it.
Has this changed your view on religion?
Yeah.
how has it changed your view?
I wasn't really a religious person. I think it made me a much more spiritual person. And I think before any psychedelic therapy that I went through, I was performing spirituality. So spirituality was kind of something I did to show people.
Yeah, virtue, to signal virtue.
Yeah. And now spirituality, you kind of see it like it's not a big deal. It doesn't, you don't have to go buy linen yoga pants and wooden beads and bathe in essential oils to be spiritual. Like, you can just maybe have a hand up there and be less certain. I think the certainty is the enemy. Like, we haven't been here very long. We're very, very newborn creatures on this planet.
Has it made you?
I would agree. I would agree to that. The less certain you are, the more open you are, and you will learn a lot more in that state of mind. Thinking you know it all is the biggest mind killer. It's a very, very destructive thing. Does nothing good for you. Even as certain as I am about many things, I still leave a door open to alternate possibilities and the fact that I may be wrong.
At the end of the day, everybody wants to, like, after your first or second time going to psychedelic therapy, you're like, oh, I need to understand the secrets of the universe now. Which you go in there with this, like, very egocentric desires. And then they're like, okay, you want to understand the universe? They'll show it all to you, and your brain's not capable of understanding it, remembering it, or translating it once you come back anyway. And I think over time, you learn that the more ego I have, it's like I'm performing. And then every time I go back in there, or every time, like, I kind of reflect on that experience, it helps me to unzip my little ego costume a little bit more. Did you know that you can get banned from DMT? There are thousands of people out there who are using DMT recreationally, and the beings up there basically told them, you are done and you're banned from DMT. And the journey stops right there in that moment. And the guy can take hit after hit after hit after hit of DMT and nothing happens. You can be banned from that realm or whatever it is. I think they call it hyperspace now.
In the culture surrounding DMT, there is a widely reported anecdote phenomenon called being locked out of hyperspace. Many frequent users report reaching a point where the drug simply stops working as expected regardless of the dose. The common descriptions include the waiting room wall, getting stuck in the initial onset phase and being unable to break through. The grey room, seeing only flat, colourless or dull visuals instead of the visual vibrant geometry. The hyperslap, a terrifying or deeply uncomfortable experience where entities appear to tell you that you aren't welcome or shouldn't be here anymore. The sudden blackout, smoking the substance and simply falling asleep or remembering nothing, effectively being denied entry.
I think there are thousands of people.